Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another thrilling episode of Throwback Sports Productions and Backyard Baseball 2001. That is right. We are back, baby. We did the draft lottery for this. We are the Red Hornets, so we took a break. We figured out stuff over the last week, and we decided we've got the name picked out. We got the teams, of course, the players picked out. And we're going to do the first game of the regular season here. It is the Red Hornets, and we're going to go up against the Texas Rangers. But before I jump into that, I want to welcome everybody once again. We are back, game one of the regular season for this 2020 Backyard Baseball 2001 campaign. Back with my good brother, buddy and co-host Ben Schultz from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Ben, how are you doing, and are you as excited about this as I am?
I am doing okay, and excited to take another crack at the bat, if you will. Pun very much intended for this new season, 2020 of Backyard Baseball 01. I am hyped and excited to see the random draft lottery kind of coalesce into its singularity, so to speak, and we'll see how that unfolds like a piece of origami. So, for our venue today, we're at Steele Stadium. And we are home. We picked this one due to the gigantic pool in the left field, but also, let's be honest, the short center field and the big barn that houses all of the kids' utilities and gloves and whatnot. So I think it'll be a good one. We have our draft set and ready to go, and positions all started. The lineups are set, and we're ready to rock and roll. So I have one question, and it may have been because I didn't translate these notes right. But Ronnie Dobbs, he's playing center field, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Yep.
I must have typed over that, and I'm sorry. But anyway, so I am back on track. So yeah, what's the next step, my friend?
All right, so we'll go into the lineups here. So Ben, you can do the home Hornets. I'll introduce the road Texas Rangers team. You can do the Hornets lineup for the home team, and then we will jump into the matchup. So, without further ado, here we are, the lineups for regular season game number 1 of this 2020 campaign, Red Hornets and Texas Rangers. So, for the opposing team, Texas Rangers leading off in left field is Lisa Crockett. Batting second and playing short today is Gwen Sears. Batting third and in right field is Fay Dawson. Batting cleanup and doing the catching this afternoon is Pamela Kirkos. In the fifth spot, playing third at the hot corner at third is Stuart Sullivan. In the sixth slot over there in center field, the short porch is Perry Marx. Batting seventh, playing second base, not his normal stint, usually playing catcher, but today at second base is Ivan Pudge Rodriguez. In the eighth slot over there at first is Hillary Vargas. And rounding it off in the lineup is pitching today Nancy Chin. All right, those are your Texas Rangers lineup. And now over to the home Red Hornets. Take it away, Ben.
Alrighty, so batting first for the home team, Red Hornets, game 1, 2020 World Series. I am just falling all over the place. Game 1 of the 2020 season. Batting first, Reese Worthington on second base. On third base, batting second, Pete Wheeler. Batting third, Chipper Jones playing shortstop. Batting fourth, Jose Canseco on first base. Watch out for him. Speaking of people to watch out for, Kenny Lofton batting fifth in center field. Batting sixth, Randy Johnson on the mound today, starting us off. And then batting seventh, Tony Del Vecchio in the catching position. Batting eighth, Sally Dobbs in left field. And rounding out the order, Ronnie Dobbs in center field. Wait, hold on. Kenny Lofton's in center field. What's going on? Okay, Kenny's playing right field.
I forgot to switch it over. Lofton is right. Okay. Ronnie Dobbs is actually in center field. We had a bit of trouble with getting the game notes corroborated here, but it's all right. So Ronnie Dobbs batting ninth. He is in center field. Kenny Lofton is batting fifth, and he will be in right field today. And I apologize for not fixing that earlier. But anyway, those are the lineups, those are the news and notes. It's been a while since we've done this, folks, as you can easily tell. But anyway, we're ready to rock and roll here. We got the lineups to go. Pitching matchup, Randy Johnson, the ace lefty, future Hall of Famer. Well, I mean, by this point, he's in the Hall of Fame, obviously. But Randy Johnson, one of the best pitchers in existence. and looking to dominate here against the Rangers and Nancy Chin. So it should be a good matchup. Let's go ahead and get into it. Game 1, this inaugural Red Hornets season at Steele Stadium. Home game, first game of the year. Let's play some baseball.
Watch out, I have been known to be a little wild.
So Lisa Crockett steps up to the plate. Randy Johnson winds and fires for the first pitch of the season. It is swung on and fouled, and we're underway. And remember, boys and girls, with another Backyard Baseball 2001 campaign, we also get to bring back the broken window tally.
Brought to you by the wonderful men and women of Anderson Windows of Colorado and not Minnesota, but Wisconsin. There we go. I was going through the places I had lived before and just scrolling through the list.
Yep.
Got stuck on the second to last one. Second pitch is, actually third pitch is slapped towards Pete Wheeler, scoops it up, fires to first, and just like they practiced, out at first base. Gwen Sears, the shortstop for the Texas Rangers at the plate now. Out number 1, nobody on. A slow ball out, or high and ball 1. Randy Johnson trying to get his get on his horse. He's mostly on, but we'll try and see what's going on. Ball number 2, a little outside. Testing the batters, seeing how they'll react to something in and out of the strike zones. Johnson again with a delivery, slow ball, and Sears is going to let that one drop for strike number 1. 2-1 the count.
Indeed. It's interesting to see here, Ben. Nancy Chin, I know we've seen her in past seasons before. She's a decent pitcher. I'm very curious to see how she stacks up against Johnson. Now, you both have to play offensively the same field. There is a very short porch in center. I think it's going to come down to which team offensively can take control of this field and this environment the best. And that will dictate, I think, who might come out on top in this game.
And I've yet to see a blind throw from one edge of the field to the other in extreme circumstances, but at least on this field. But we'll see how that shakes out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Here's the delivery, and Johnson gets her on strike number 3. Looking, Gwen Sears still 0 for 0 today. Now ushering in Fay Dawson, playing right field for the Texas Rangers here at Steele Stadium.
All right, so 2 out for Johnson, nobody on. Dawson hits it foul for strike 1. Randy looking pretty decent. Good control. He wants to try and keep that pitch count as low as possible, knowing the fact that Ronnie Dobbs, playing on the same team as his sister, as there's called strike 2, he's not a fan of having to play with his sister on the same team because she kind of bosses him around a bit. So Sally gets the benefits of that, and Ronnie gets the short end of the stick. But Johnson winds, fires, swing and a miss from Fay Dawson, out number 3. 2 strikeouts, a ground out, 12 pitches for Johnson, and a clean inning of work. We go to the bottom of the first, and Worthington leads it off. But yeah, it's an interesting dynamic here as Sally and Ronnie playing on the same team. Ronnie doesn't do as well playing on the same team as his sister, so he would usually be the backup pitcher in this case. But he just doesn't have a whole lot of confidence, and he's not too keen on playing on the same team as his sister. So he's not really that available for pitching as far as a rotation goes. So it might just be mostly Johnson for the season. I'm curious to see how that's going to play out going forward. That could play a big factor down the road as we get further here into the year.
Meanwhile, Reese Worthington finds base number 1. In a shutout play, Pete Wheeler flies towards center field. That one's caught for out number 1, and Worthington makes it safely back at first base. Not the best set of legs in that guy, but he's trying. He's doing his best. Chipper Jones at the plate now, and here is a delivery from Chin. Whacks it deep into left field, actually solidly into left field. Worthington on his horse. Unfortunately, that horse forgot to get water before the game started. He is thrown out at base number 2, and Jose Canseco, look out for him. 1 on, 2 out. Bottom of inning number 1. This one's low, called ball 1.
So basically a force foul at second base, but Chipper Jones will take the hit there as Canseco swings and corks one high and deep to dead center field. This ball is way high in the air, back, track, wall, and gone. Short porch, that would be a long fly ball out under normal circumstances, but that is a home run here. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, there we go.
So a 2-run towering fly ball home run from Jose Canseco as Kenny Lofton is now at the plate. Feeling a little bit under the weather today. He is in right field as a result. Grounds this one between the pitcher and second base. Pitcher fields it, throws to first, and Lofton beats it out with his legs. My goodness. So Nancy Chin left the pitch where it shouldn't be, and that was the end of it. Canseco sends it over the fence in center. 2-0 Hornets. Randy Johnson at the plate. Strike one.
A solid play by Canseco there, clearing the bases with that center field home run. It's taking control offensively, Mike, and we'll see how the Texas Rangers respond in the second inning.
Indeed. I'm curious to see how they respond as well. Curious to see how their bats respond. Their pitching has to get it together here as Johnson pops this one harmlessly toward the pitcher. Chin under it. And makes the catch. So 2 runs, 4 hits, no errors. A 2-0 lead. We go to the top of the second. Pamela Kirkos at the plate. Johnson back to work.
Kirkos, like Del Vecchio, in the catching position and chooses a shorter play. Interesting choice of placement there, especially since she plays the same position. Just thrown out at first, though, and the infield's making it look like it is easy peasy. Johnson now delivering to Stuart Sullivan, playing third base. Swing and strike number 1. Infield's playing a little shallow, I've noticed, with Sullivan. Mike, why do you think that is?
Well, Stuart Sullivan, they did a bit of scouting before the game today. He's not quite feeling his best, so they're playing the infield in so that they can get a quicker play on the ball here and try and get an easier out. Guarding against, trying to let the ball out of the infield, but that's not going to worry about it because it's a strikeout for Johnson, number 3 on the day. And now the fielders will go back to playing normal depth for Perry Marks, playing center field today. He can hit the ball pretty well, so we'll see how he does. Swing and a miss. So far, not so good.
Maybe he misstepped there or hit a gopher hole or something.
Yeah.
Stray rock.
Random mosquito bit him right in the middle of his swing.
That's the worst.
I don't know.
Don't you hate it when you're just lining up for something or drinking something or biting into a sandwich and a mosquito just bites you? That was like the worst. I'm a walking smorgasbord.
It is the worst.
And yeah, it's crazy. Anyway, 0-2 the count. Johnson throws, and it is a strike numero 3. And that would be out number 3 for all you English people. And that would be the end of the top of the inning. Bottom of the second inning. Rangers trail 0-2. Behind the Hornets, here's Del Vecchio facing Nancy Chin. He swings. It is pop foul.
And it is a broken window, so that's the first one on the board here for this season. Another thanks to our boys and girls of Anderson Windows of both Colorado and Wisconsin for all of your in-home window and in-broadcast booth window replacement needs. Del Vecchio is going to be safe at first on the misplay from the first baseman. So it's broken window number 1, and we will keep that tab rolling throughout the entire season and the postseason if we do end up getting that far as well. So here is Sally Dobbs. Swings and corks this one to center field. Perry Marks charging over to it, and he cannot make the catch. He misplayed the ball. They will throw to second, and Del Vecchio is out there. But Dobbs safe at first, and her brother, Ronnie, now at the dish. Swinging a foul. I feel bad for Ronnie because he's a really decent, hard screaming line drive contact hitter when he's not feeling poorly. So that bat has basically been taken out of his hands for, I'd say, a good chunk of the season, depending on what happens with, like if you wake up and you feel a little bit better on one of the days that you play, whatever. But he'll be hard pressed to be getting a whole lot of hits here. Swinging him a strike 2.
Yeah, Dobbs definitely starting behind the 8 ball here as far as the season's concerned. Doesn't get along with his sister too well, but hopefully they can reconcile their differences for the good of the game, as this one is low for ball 2, 2-2 the count. Dobbs is playing with a runner on first. Only one out. Ball number 3. Nancy Chin definitely taking her time with this batter. I don't think she knows the relationship quite well enough to take advantage of him. This one is popped and it'll get down for an outfield play. Sally out at second, Ronnie out at first, and that is a blow to the morale as the Hornets go home from this inning scoreless. Avon Rodriguez at the plate now for the Rangers, and Randy Johnson winds up, and here is the throw. Inside, strike one though. Painting that inside corner.
Go ahead, Ben.
Oh, sure. I was going to say painting the inside corner, and Rodriguez playing second base for today.
Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Johnson trucking along here. 4 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, looking for his 5th on the day to Rodriguez. Swing and a miss, and he's got it. He's got that fastball working today. As Hillary Vargas now comes to the plate. Strikeout number 5 for the big unit. Swung on and foul, and that is broken window number 2.
All right.
Another call to the boys and girls of Anderson Windows of Colorado and the greater Wisconsin areas.
Break all that glass.
All that glass. Swung on and popped up. Over toward Chipper Jones at short. He dives and makes the catch. The ball kind of caught him. He didn't quite catch the ball. It caught him first. But that's out number 2. And now Nancy Chin, pitcher on pitcher. It's a pitcher's battle with 2 away. Swung on and line toward third. Wheeler Fields fires over to first and makes the play. A fine play at third. He knows that base very well. And so 3 up, 3 down. No hits for the Rangers through 3 as we go to the bottom of the third. And Worthington back to work. Nancy Chin, even though they're down 2-0, she only threw 19 pitches in the first 2 innings. As Worthington pops out to the catcher. And now Pete Wheeler is up to the plate. So, Ben, the Rangers aren't out of it yet. Not by any means. They're down 2. It's a short porch and center, and they have some kind of special offensive bat hitting ability that they've unlocked with that double play in the previous inning. I'm very curious to see when they decide to make that work and how they choose to do it as well, as this one is deflected off of the leaping first baseman, and Pete Wheeler is safe at first. Now 1 for 2, and definitely a base-stealing threat. Here's Chipper Jones. Lefty on lefty. He is a switch hitter.
Yeah, Hillary Vargas reaching so high for that ball, just couldn't quite get it. Wheeler attempts to steal, slides off of an error from second baseman Ivan Rodriguez, and that will find him safely at second with not a second to spare. Chipper Jones looks at Steerick number 1, 1-1 the count. So Wheeler with a risky move, but Hornets are up, so they could afford to make that in good faith. Ball number 2. Nancy Chin looking pretty stable so far. Not as efficient as Randy Johnson, but she's definitely holding her own on that mound. And this one
Jones is this one to right of center field, and it is caught by the center fielder, so 2 away. I want to go back to that attempted steal there by Wheeler. He was successful, but my goodness, was there a gun on the arm of the catcher there? She had him dead to rights, but he was safe by way of a mighty swing by Canseco looking for home run number 2. He would have been out by a country mile, no pun intended. But the play was not made at second as Canseco hits a pop up high toward the pitcher. Wheeler still running, and he will not get to home because Canseco is out. But keep that in mind. The Rangers definitely have 2 good catchers. Kirkos behind the plate today, and then, of course, Pudge Rodriguez, even though he's playing second base today, he can definitely come in there and play catcher again. So 2 good catchers for the Rangers. They want to keep this running game on lockdown so far.
Lisa Crockett swings through strike one. Second delivery from Johnson will find strike two safely planted in the upper left corner of the batter's box, or strike zone rather. Top of inning number 4, Hornets still lead by 2-0 over the Rangers, and that will be the end of that batter. Gwen Sears at the plate. Crockett will sit down. Sears playing shortstop today, has not found a hit yet, but hopes to do so in this inning. Reese Worthington, a little bit of a misstep as the ball finds its way past his glove, and Sears will find first base safely without number 1 in the books. Fay Dawson now playing right field. Randy Johnson winds up, and here is the throw. Swing and a miss. A really, really good effort to kind of make that batter swing, painting that upper left corner of the strike zone. Johnson's not pulling any punches right now. Here comes the next delivery. This was swing and strike 2, and she attempts to steal second base. Gwen Sears gunning for it, and Reese Worthington, Asthma Boy 2001, makes the save. And there is out number 2 there. 0-2 the count for Fay Dawson.
Johnson happy about that play there. The 0-2. Strike 3, high inside fastball. And strikeout number 7 for the big unit. He is rolling here. So perfect game, no hitter gone. But that is out number 3. And the threat quelled as Lofton leads off the bottom of the 4th. Swung on and fouled, strike 1.
Now, Michael, correct me if I'm wrong, but Kenny Lofton has the nickname The Blur, correct?
Yes,
Okay.
he does.
I was remembering that correctly then.
He's got the best set of professional wheels in the game.
And he uses them
So
well.
he and Pete Wheeler will be curious to see who has more steals this season. This one is dribbled back toward the mound. Nancy Chin takes a few steps forward. Fields throws to first and just throws out Lofton.
Not even the Blur can outrun that arm. Well played, Nancy Chin, and good reaction time and coordination with the first baseman, Jose Canseco. First baseman, Hillary Vargas, to make that play. Randy dribbles to shortstop across the way, and he's thrown out at first. So very clean so far. 2 up, 2 down for the Rangers, and Tony Del Vecchio is at the plate now. Looks at strike 1, but it was just barely in the strike zone. He's picking his battles here. He knows Nancy Chin can't be that consistent. And here comes the delivery, pitch number 2, and he cranks this one left, and that will find its way into foul territory.
He squared that one up, but got around it a little too much and pulled it foul.
Comes the delivery, and he cranks on this one. This is directly towards the shortstop. She picks it up, loops it to first, and talk about clean, Michael. 3 up, 3 down, and the Rangers are now at bat.
They are. Pamela Kirkos leads it off. Randy Johnson, 1 hitter through 4 innings, 7 strikeouts. Pamela Kirkos trying to get something going here for the Rangers. The cannon arm behind the plate for this afternoon for the Texas squad. Johnson still having none of it. He is unfazed. I don't think there's anything in this world or in this game that phases this man. As this ball is ripped to deep left field, Dobbs going back, makes an adjustment, can't make the play. So Fields it, fires in hard towards second. Kirkos going for a double, and she slides in ahead of the tag. So a huge play there. That's an error on Dobbs, and a runner goes to second. Stuart Sullivan at the plate. Field is backing up for this because they're not quite sure what he's going to try here. The pitch to Sullivan with a runner aboard. It is bunted.
Oh.
Johnson's going to throw to third, and the runner is safe. So they tried to get the lead runner at third, could not do so. Now 2 runners are aboard. Perry Marx is at the plate, and I do not want to know what these guys have in store in the offensive category.
That was a very, very good play by the Rangers to bunt when they saw that outfield backing up. Take advantage of the space while you had it. And, oh my goodness, did they capitalize, or did they capitalize? I think Pamela Kirkos found her way to third. Is that correct?
She did. She went to third on that bunt, so they tried to move the runner. Johnson, smart play. They're trying to get the run out at third, but could not succeed as the pitch to Perry Marks. It's a crazy bunt. Oh, that's why they were playing deep there, Ben. They did not want to... They're trying to keep tabs on this ball as it continues to skitter its way here, there, and everywhere. A run is in, and 2 runs are in.
Amazing play. Setting it up like he was gonna play short, and then unleashes the crazy bunt. Now the Rangers have tied it up at 2. Late in the game, top of the 5th inning, Ivan Rodriguez at the plate. Mike, what a turn of events we had.
Yes. It's funny because it went from like perfect game no-hitter territory to all of a sudden this game is tied and the Rangers have nobody out against them and a runner on first, and they're still trucking and hard charging to put more runs on the board. This field is shifting toward the left side as this ball is grounded slowly. Wheeler field throws to second. Out there, they're not going to try to throw to first because Worthington does not want to gas himself on that play. So they got him out. So Hillary Vargas now at the plate. Fielders are going to move back to normal depth. Randy Johnson has eclipsed 40 pitches. That one run that scored should technically be unearned because, well, I mean, I don't think it was. It may have been unearned. I'm not sure because Dobbs made that misplay in left field and allowed the runner to be on base. Vargas hits this one toward Johnson. Fields throws to second out there. Throws to first, and double play. So that's going to end the inning. They get a double play of their own, but this game is tied. It is 2 apiece. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and Sally Dobbs leads it off.
Well, Sally definitely
lasered right off of the third baseman. That's going to hurt. Tries to throw to first, but Dobbs is going to be safe easily. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off there, Ben. What were you saying?
Oh, I was going to say Sally, definitely a force to be reckoned with here, and definitely proved her worth kneecapping Stuart Sullivan on third base with that screaming but not screaming line drive. Ronnie Dobbs at the plate now. Foul ball, strike 1 with his sister at the plate. Now they... last time I remember this duo on base, Sally was on second, Ronnie was on first, and they both got doubled off. So hopefully that hasn't stuck with Ronnie too much and shaken his resolve too badly as they face down the barrel of Nancy Chin's arm for strike number 2. 1-2 the count. Runner on first, 2-2. Rangers at the Hornets. Home field, bottom of the inning, number 5. And Dobbs is going to watch this one trickle down underneath the batter's box here, and he will take ball 2. Well, speaking of screaming line drives, it looks like the Hornets have a special play up their sleeve. Unfortunately, Dobbs did not get to use it, swinging through strike 3. That will usher in Reese Worthington. And we're back at the top of the order.
We are indeed. Worthington 1 for 2 with a base hit. A slow ball, slow-mo, is ball 1. I would not have used that if I were Nancy Chin. You got to conserve all that juice and ability unless you've got a really good backup pitcher in the wings for some relief here. You don't want to expend all that juice if you can help it. Swung on and dribbled between first baseman and the pitcher. The pitcher fields it. Does not field it. First baseman fields, throws to second. Safe there. Worthington safe, but the double play is in order, definitely. With Dobbs at second, Worthington at first, and Pete Wheeler at the plate. So this is a curious case here. Another double play in the offing potentially for the Rangers. They can pull it off and keep this game tied. They have a shot to score in the top of the 6th.
Now, keep in mind, we are playing a shorter game through the season, so we're doing 6 innings regular instead of the regular 9 for time and broadcasting purposes. But if this game needs to go to extra innings, i.e. more than 6, we will stick with it as long as it transpires. There we go. Wheeler swings a 180, and it's a foul ball off the cap of his bat. 1-2 the count, and still runners on first and second. Chin Throwing, delivers, and here is the swing. It's thrown to, I don't know, it's the second base. There we go. And tries to get Dobbs at third. She slides and is safe. Secures a great scoring potential position for the Hornets. And Chipper Jones at the plates. I wonder if he can do some business. All they need is a solid single in the right position, Mike. And this team is leading once more.
There's your single to that correct position into left field. A run will score. Crockett throws into third, and it's the 3-2 lead for the Hornets. They are back on top. Chipper Jones coming through in the clutch. One housekeeping note for you, Ben. There was a foul ball on that play off the bat of Wheeler. So that is broken window number 3 on the day and the season, as Canseco fouls one off. Oh, he is itching for home run number 2 and RBIs 3, 4, and 5, respectively. Nancy Chin, strike 2. Anybody's game here.
As deep into
Hornets.
the game, she's 50 pitches in. Gotta be feeling that somehow.
Oh, just barely low. That was a good pitch, too. Does not get the call from the umpire. 2 on, 2 out. The 1-2 pitch to Canseco. Swung on and laser smacked right toward Pudge Rodriguez. He deflects it, gets back up, throws to second, and Chipper Jones is just barely out by a shoestring. My goodness gracious there. So now, Randy Johnson back to work. 1-run lead, 3 outs to get, 7 strikeouts, 42 pitches. He's given up 2 runs. Swing and a miss, pitcher on pitcher. And the Rangers could not keep the game tied through the bottom of the 5th. That might come back to haunt them, but props to Nancy Chin. She's pitched her heart out today, trying not to go down here at the plate for the second time. But big kudos to her, because she's hung tough with Randy Johnson, gave her team a chance to come back in this game, and they did. They tied it. They're down 1 currently, but all in all, a good showing. 1-2
sure.
pitch. Swung on and missed. Strikeout number 8 for Randy Johnson. They're 2 outs away. Lisa Crockett at the plate. Johnson can feel it now. He's like, "You're not pulling me out of this game, man. This is my ship to sink or to sink or have piloted." I was going to say sink or swim, but ships don't swim.
I like to think that's it's a good subject for debate class or debate club. Make the case that ships can swim, not float, swim. I don't know. You can throw that either way. But speaking of throwing, Reese Worthington picks it up, throws to first, and Crockett finds herself out. Good showing by the Hornets, and Gwen Sears 1 for 2 today against Randy Johnson. Here's the throw inside strike number 1.
Johnson looking to finish this off and gut out a win here. 1-run lead, last hope here for the Rangers and Gwen Sears. Strike 2. Johnson wants to finish this off in style. You know it, I know it, your mother knows it. It's going to be a fastball.
And your mother knows it.
The 0-2. Swung on and missed, strike 3. Couldn't catch up with it. 9 strikeouts, 52 pitches, 2 runs, a 1-run victory, complete game effort from Randy Johnson. And mad props to the boys and girls on the Hornets team. They were able to pull it off. It was a hard-fought victory, a close game, Ben, and a low-scoring affair at that. But Hornets eke out the win 3-2. Over the Rangers, and they will win their inaugural game of this 2020 season. How about it? What are your thoughts? That's pretty good.
That is pretty good. I was kind of on the edge of my seat towards the end of that 5th inning there. The Rangers definitely not pulling any punches and showing that a ball placed in the right spot does a lot more than only hitting power alone. So that at least tied the game up and showed some respect for the offense there. But Hornets eked out a win here. 1-run game, all said and done, and we are through number 1.
Yes, indeed. Absolutely. So congratulations to the Hornets. They get their first win of the season. They are going to head into their second game next time, going on the road for a 3-game road trip at the Mariners, who were victorious over the Angels. So it'll be a battle for early first place here in the American League West in game number 2. Rangers coming off a 3-2 win, Mariners coming off a 3-0 victory, defeating the Angels. So, or was it a 3-0 victory? I'm not quite sure if it was or not. But anyway, point being, Mariners won their first game, Rangers win their first game, battle for first place next time. But Ben, what were your takeaways from this game here, and how do you think the team stacks up, at least upon first glance, one game into things here, going into the remainder of the season? What are your thoughts? What are their strengths and weaknesses, and what are you looking to see from this team going forward?
I'll start in reverse order. So one weakness I've seen early on in the game was there was a lot of confusion of who should play when and kind of what kind of hit people were looking for. I know Jose Canseco managed to whack his way to a 2-0 lead early on, but I didn't see much movement at all on that scoreboard until Jose stepped up to the plate. After that, their strengths kind of started to be in more of play, so to speak. So they figured out how to stem the tide of and kind of keep the Texas Rangers at bay for most of the game. They got caught with their trousers down and their shoelaces untied with that crazy bunt, but I mean, to be honest, anybody would. It was definitely a good play by the Rangers and enough to tie the game up at 2 at the point. Now, after that, more of the Hornets' strengths kind of showed with Randy Johnson able to coordinate very, very well with his infield team and keep those Rangers in check for the rest of the game. And they scored another run, ending in their victory. So those are my takeaways from each position. It'll be fun to kind of see how these kids pull together more as a team as the season goes on.
Absolutely. I would agree wholeheartedly with that. One thing to look out for is there are a fair number of potentialities for double plays against this Red Hornets team. One did come to fruition for the Rangers to get against them, and they had a couple other opportunities in the game too. So the fact that Ronnie Dobbs is down for the count, fielding-wise, hitting-wise, pitching-wise, running-wise, all of that stuff, that doesn't help. So, because like Randy bats 6th, then, Sally bats 8th and Ronnie bats 9th. So you got those slower runners, although Sally's not that much of a slouch on the base paths. But still, opportunities against the Red Hornets for double play to be made against them fairly often during a game. So they have to be very smart and very, reliant on their pitching and their offense, I think. Defense will also help too. They've got a pretty decent infield. They got a pretty decent outfield. But it's going to come down to pitching and timely offense for this team going forward, I'm pretty sure, because you need to be able to outpace your weaknesses as far as your running capabilities on the base paths. That's what's going to pull them forward throughout the rest of the season, and that's what I'm going to be looking forward to going forward here.
I think with that'll kind of close my comments about the thing. Very, very good game all around. Excited to kick this 2020 season off in style. And Mike, I will hand the virtual mic off to you to close it out.
All right, sounds good. Well, thank you again, Ben. Always a pleasure. We're happy to do this again. Gorgeous afternoon for baseball it was here today, and a solid 3-2 win for the Rangers. They had some bit of trepidation there when the game was tied off that crazy bunt, but they pulled through. Chipper Jones coming through with that timely clutch base hit go-ahead single in the bottom of the 5th, and Randy Johnson shuts him down in the top of the 6th and brings it home. Rangers, Hornets, game 1 finished up. Hornets with the 3-2 victory. They will play the Mariners in the second game. Next time, we will come to you live from the road against the Mariners for game number 2. But that's all I've got for me, and for the rest of us here, for my good buddy, brother, and co-host Ben Schultz, and from all of us here at Throwback Sports Productions, this is Michael saying so long. Have a good rest of your weekend. Enjoy the nice weather. Hopefully keep your spirits up with the COVID-19 quarantine stuff and restrictions being lifted and things being up in the air for everybody. God bless, stay safe, love you all, and we will see you next time. Goodbye, everybody.